in the tech dystopia that we currently live in, don't you get freaked out whenever you talk about a particular thing and then all of a sudden that thing is being advertised to you on your Instagram or whatever, like literally whatever whatever you're using, you start seeing ads for it. That kind of shit is terrifying. And think about what they can do with when they know every little aspect of your life and your health. Like, what does Mitch McConnell's biometric data say about him? That's a good segue, I think, into talking about the first news story of the day. That's right. Let's get started. First news story of the day. Mitch motherfucking McConnell freeze at the top of the GOP briefing. Later,
well, good afternoon, everyone. We're on a path to finishing the NDA this week. It's been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press? Go back. Go ahead, John. I'll take it back.
My man's brain is doo-doo, man. Is fucking doo-doo.
Go ahead, John.
Bro, did he shit himself? What happened there? Did he poop himself, or did his brain poop itself? I think his brain pooped itself. He might have stroked out right there, baby. I'm not gonna lie, but of course I had a take on it. Maybe it's the vaccine injury, you know? You never know with these things. Let's run that again.
And a string of
I love the zoom from C-SPAN. From my mom, who's an epilepsy nurse, this was a focal seizure with impaired awareness. He had that fall not too long ago and said to have a concussion. I'm sure he had a subdural or something. He may not even know it happened.
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office?
Guys around him are so funny too. He's like, "Hey, Mitch, you got some more words to say, or should we just escort you inside? What's happening?"
Say anything else to the press?
Go ahead, John.
I'll take it back. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
So this is we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the IRA, and
yeah, we are, laddie. The 1-year anniversary of the IRA. So the least cognitively impaired Congress member, dude, first and foremost, okay, why are all of our fucking most powerful congresspersons literally 700,000 years old? Mitch McConnell has got one health bar, okay, barely. Nancy Pelosi, one health bar, barely. Dianne Feinstein doesn't even have a health bar anymore, okay? She's on a potion that allows her to just like extend her lifespan. She's dead already. She's literally dead. She's not even 1 HP, okay? She got 0. Someone said glitch McConnell. Oh, that's so good. Anyway, someone throw a Pokeball. Yeah, throw a Pokeball at him. You definitely are not going to be able to capture him, though, because he's dead. He's dead. Pharmacists have come out and said a pharmacist says he has filled Alzheimer's medication for members of Congress. They're making the highest laws of the land. They might even remember what happened yesterday. This touches on a very weird category of like, is this illegal? And I think it absolutely is illegal. But, this is from 2017, by the way. But also, but it's still worthwhile. Like, it's like, information that the public should know about. You know what I mean? Is that thing that game devs do where the last 5 HP actually lasts longer than 5 HP on a full health bar? This definitely violates HIPAA, but who cares? It's one of those things where it's like you're kind of a whistleblower, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's worthwhile to say, you look older today. It's because I am older. I'm 32. Reminder, Young China takes on aging empire. Viral photo. Viral photo. Resurgent Young China takes on aging U.S. in retreat. 2018. Oh, look at that. Yeah, 100 years ago versus now. Update on Mitch. Asked about the episode Minority Leader Mitch had at today's press conference, McConnell aide said that McConnell felt lightheaded and stepped away for a moment, and he came back to handle Q&A, which, as everyone observed, was sharp. Mitch McConnell from another angle. God. Looks like shit. Definitely good to have some of the most powerful members on the planet, okay? These are some of the most powerful human beings on the fucking planet. It's great to have them be basically brain dead, like vegetables. It's cool. Doesn't matter, because their job isn't like to actually do anything. Their job in many respects is to do nothing. Their job in many instances is to basically just keep business as usual going, keep corporate interests maintained. Doesn't matter. They're just like a monkey in a suit. They're corporate puppets anyway. They're not reading the laws. Nobody thinks that they're reading the legislation that they're passing. They're not writing them either. It's lobbyists that write it for them. So it's a cushy-ass gig, you know what I mean? We got a new angle of the pull away. It's bad. Flag. McConnell stopped abruptly during his opening statement during the GOP leadership presser and appeared to be unable to restart talking. He then stepped away and walked away with Barrasso. Yeah, great stuff. Overall, he went back, for the record, he went back and he delivered a Q&A. Let the speculation start. I speculated maybe vaccine injury. Okay. This one was really good. I think this is probably the best speculation out there. Jabuki says, it was so hard squeezing the fit under that podium and making sure my throat didn't make any noises. Thank God I zipped them up before they pulled him away. Maybe it's aliens. Suck the soul out of them. Need to suck it harder. Difference between left and right. The left will show empathy to this. If it was right, they would pile on. Wait, what? I don't want to show empathy to this at all. The fuck do you mean? Fuck that. My man glitched out. That's fucking bullshit. We shouldn't show empathy to this. The real empathetic thing here, if you have an empathetic bone in your body, is to get him the fuck out of power, okay? Put him in a goddamn retirement home or some shit. But let me tell you something. Especially after watching Peter's videos on Kentucky, think about that. Mitch McConnell is the senator from Kentucky, okay? Think about the conditions that those people live in. This motherfucker is almost single-handedly responsible for that, okay? I'm sorry, I got no empathy for this dude. He's a lizard. He's awful. He does not care about his own state. He's a gigantic fucking piece of shit. I don't care. I hope that there is some level of karmic justice where he experiences a fraction of the pain that he has caused to millions of Americans. Okay?
So this is the, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the IRA. And
God damn, different angle. Let's take a look at the second video of him being pulled away. Update, McConnell comes back to the presser. Maybe he just shat his pants, you know? But yeah, they're saying that he was lightheaded. They gave him a shot in the locker room. Should be good for the second half. Power and misery traversing the grid of death. He had a stroke. His face is all droopy right side. No, I think that's just how his face looks all the time. But anyway, flag on the play. Mitch McConnell, I mean, he came back, which is disappointing. But, you know, I don't think that he's doing great. This is a better stare, the angle of him pausing. We already saw this. I just watched this. There's nothing in there, dude. There is nothing in there. In that moment, there is that 30-second pause. There's absolutely nobody home. Okay, crickets. It's just you can see it in his eyes. He's dead. Might as well be. He's a vegetable. Very cool though to have. You know. Oh, this is another problem. Yeah, Mitch McConnell talks to reporters. That was in 2020. This motherfucker is literally. The worst part about access to platinum healthcare that these guys have is that they just keep surviving. You know what I mean? They just keep surviving for much longer than the shelf life. You know what I mean? This is, if your chicken looks like this, you're tossing that out. If you're, you know, this is like, my man is decomposing. He's decaying in real life. Meanwhile, you know, he's decaying for what purpose? To ensure that other people who are under similar healthcare circumstances have no access to healthcare whatsoever and are done. Just ridiculous stuff. You mean the 3D printed chicken at the grocery stores? Yeah. I'm telling you, the actual deep state is a single necromancer under the Pentagon working all these husks like puppets. But he's our Republican friend that helped us get the historical IRA passed. If anything happened to him, that would stop Congress. Yeah, I know. He's so good. He's such a good guy, you know? Can you cover the RFK Jr. town hall? Not really. Is it happening tonight or something? I think it's happening tonight, right? I don't really want to, but I guess maybe. Physics nerds are kind of freaking out over this news. Oh yeah, I saw. For the first time in the world, researchers succeeded in synthesizing a room temperature superconductor working at ambient pressure with a modified lead apatite structure. The paper is slated to win a Nobel Prize, right? It's I don't really understand what the fuck this means. I just don't understand what is happening there, what the implications are. I'm sure some of you fucking nerds will fill me in on it. We got aliens on the docket. Better link. Today might have been the biggest physics discovery of my lifetime. I don't think people fully grasp the implications of ambient temperature pressure superconductor. Here's how it could totally change our lives. Okay, 85,000 people liked this. 15,000 people retweeted it. Let me tell you something. I don't think there's 85,000 people who understood fully what this was, okay? They're just liking it because they're like, oh, sick, scientific discovery. Love that. It's like, bitch, you don't know what's going on, okay? Don't act like you know. The paper hasn't been peer-reviewed yet. Don't believe it. 1 billion kilowatts of electricity are wasted on transmission losses each year in the U.S. alone. That's equivalent to 3 of our largest nuclear reactors running 24/7. Superconductivity enables lossless electricity transmission at high voltages and currents. According to the authors, the LK99 material can be prepared in about 34 hours with extremely basic lab equipment, a mortar, pestle, basic vacuum, and furnace. These results could replicate within days and weeks. Nuclear fusion reactors rely on superconductors for plasma confinement. Modern designs use RBCO, YBCO superconductors cooled with LN2 or liquid helium, creating a huge temperature gradient and challenging operation. Ambient superconductors enable a whole host of new reactor designs. Quantum supercomputers use superconductors to preserve coherence in qubits. Small changes in temperature and pressure can cause the entire QC to fail during operation. Imagine a room temperature quantum computer on your desktop, now possible. Superconductors might be the best batteries out there. Simply inject the current and keep it in the coil until you need it. Previously too costly to maintain, now totally feasible. What do you mean? Apparently it's nothing. We're reporting on this paper today, and hopefully we'll publish a story today. Spoiler, it's very likely nothing. Wait, what? Maybe it's just jealous nerds on this side. I don't know. Maybe maybe it's jealous nerds, you know what I mean? Your iPhone won't overheat when playing Subway Surfer with a YouTube video in the corner anymore. Ultra-efficient computer chips will have zero resistive losses during operation with superconductors. No need for cooling fans. And the common ones, super cheap MRI machines, maglev trains everywhere, and a super efficient electric grid. Basically this. I cannot contain my excitement. It feels like January 2020 with a huge wave coming that no one realizes yet, but in a much better way. Addendum. A lot of my Princeton physics friends are convinced this is pretty legit, and I am too. Like, figure 4 is a pretty good sign that was nowhere to be found in previous fiascos. Hope it all adds up. Well, New Scientist had something to say about it. Room temperature superconductor breakthrough met with skepticism. Creating material that perfectly conducts electricity at room temperature and pressure would be a big deal, but a research team's claims of creating one has attracted more scrutiny than optimism. It's not peer reviewed and it's too big of a step too fast. Came out of nowhere, and that doesn't happen in material science. And the dude has, wait, what? He has, what the fuck? He's actually done retractions? This isn't the first time someone has claimed to have discovered room temperature superconductor. People have previously lied about this shit. I don't get it. Why do people lie about it? That's a different guy? Okay. Okay, here's what I don't understand. Why do people lie about it? Like, what do you gain nothing, dude. It's fun. I mean, it's one of these situations where, like, you fucking lie about this shit and then you're kind of over, right? A very disturbing picture. Another retraction imminent for controversial physicist Ranga Diaz will have a second paper revoked. Is this the same guy, though? I don't think this is the same guy. Ask the guy who lied about the Alzheimer's drug. He wasn't caught for 30 years. Yeah, that shit was crazy. But I feel like this is that's a different story. That's pharmaceuticals, and I feel like this is a scientific breakthrough that is going to touch every field and not just like Alzheimer's research and pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean? The announcement came today from South Korea. Sometimes it's super duper biased, like they spend several years to find nothing. Sometimes they do a bit of cooking to make it seem worth it. It's over if you don't publish. The pressure is immense. Motherfuckers love attention. There was a Korean veterinarian who faked cloning. It's a big thing in science. Lots of papers are bullshit. We have this capability. What you don't understand, I mean, imagine your funding is contingent on you getting results, so you fight some results so you don't lose funding. Okay. My suspicion here is that these guys are big Hasanabi heads, and at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Okay? And they're like, fuck, how are we going to avoid the ads, right? I don't want to watch a 3-minute ad break. We saw the number of PhDs had actually gotten smaller in recent years. We got to improve our Hasanabi broadcasting experience. How can we do this? Well, we can get $5 in the form of a subscription to avoid the top of the hour ad break, right? Or we can get a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime. But also, we can spread the love around and gift subs, like Preston for the Win just did, or Baba Yaga just did with 2 5 gifted subs, or like Infinite Ryman with the 10 gifted subs, allowing 20 total people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. So in order to get funding for that, they had to lie about their paper. That's what I think. Hasanabi's nipple, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. B Zella, thank you for the 10 gifted. Bro, my physics teacher sent this to me and it's not peer reviewed. I am a fool. I went to Princeton to get a community college education. Somewhat shown situation who faked his way to getting a Nobel Prize. 3 out of 10 debate, but 10-10 world building for the debate. Thank you. I like to sometimes dude, this is an hour and 19 minutes long. I like to sometimes do a little bit of world building for my segues. Here is part 3 of a very long YouTube essay about the first time this happened. Bobby Broccoli did 3 fucking videos on this. That's insane. Can I get this reduced to like a 10-minute format or what? Please don't shit on CCs. They have some of the best education. What? I bet it's a very good video. It's like 18 hours long. There's a difference between biodiscovery and materials discovery. And materials discovery is much easier to test and debunk. It's incredibly unlikely it's true. A room temperature superconductor is considered like the holy grail of science. It would make something like maglev trains incredibly cheaper. No expensive supercooling needed. He's excited about the news. The good news, this could be fundamental revolution in physics. The bad news, this may be a great brockumentary in 2 years. Okay, so he's not excited about it. Electrical conductors all have resistance. Higher resistance means higher power requirements. Higher resistance means higher power requirements. Superconductors have almost zero resistance, but superconductors only exist at super cold temperatures or super high pressures. This is a room temp, normal pressure superconductor. The world record at the moment for a superconductor temperature is minus 140 degrees centigrade. This paper claims they made one that is plus 127 centigrade. I don't understand. If they have how the fuck did nobody else figure this out in a goddamn lab? If they were the ones who did it. If it's so easy, like what happened? Did they like stumble into it? Like they're like, "Oh, dude, it's super simple. It's like this pivotal achievement in scientific discovery and you can just like make it in a lab with like regular ass tools." That's such a dumb take. I'm just saying like if they're able to do this, it's a lot of testing, dude. Okay. They solved the McConnell mystery from fart. I think I'm not going to click on that link. I mean, if it's replicable, I feel like there will be a very quick dismissal of this, right? They will look at the details, especially because they are saying that it's easily replicable. We will know in like a couple days whether this was real or not. Superconductors are materials through which electricity can move without encountering resistance, and so would significantly cut down the energy cost of electronics. Like, I understand why it's huge. I understand why this is like, I'm memeing a little bit, but I get why this is a tremendously important scientific discovery. I do get it. It would also have massive renewable energy implications as well. It seems like it would change the way that we, if it's real, it seems like it would change the way that we change our relationship with energy, and would be a gigantic leap in technological improvements if you could have like quantum computers running in your iPhone or in your house. All of a sudden, it's a incredible leap from like Pentium A4 or whatever chips in your bulky ass desktop PCs looking like it's nothing in comparison to the modern day iPhone that you can use, right? It would be like 1,000x that. Or not A4, i4, sorry. What was the Intel Pentium chips? Yeah, Pentium 4. Like when I first got my desktop PC, that shit was ass cheeks in comparison to the iPhone that I have in my hand now. You know what I mean? That it would be that technological leap over the course of like almost 30 years would look like nothing overnight. Now Kim and his colleagues claim to have made a material that is superconductive at room temperature and pressure. If their claims hold up to scientific scrutiny, this new work would truly be extraordinary, so the burden of proof of the research team is equally exceptional. The fact that some previous reports of breakthroughs in superconductivity were later retracted and the other teams failed to replicate the results also raises the stakes. To make the new material called LK99, Kim and his colleagues mixed several powdered compounds containing lead, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, then heated them at a high temperature for several hours. This made the powders chemically react and transform into a new dark gray solid. The researchers then measured how much millimeter-sized sample of LK99 resisted electricity passing through it at different temperatures and found that its so-called resistivity fell sharply from a sizable positive value at 105 centigrade, 221 Fahrenheit, down to nearly zero at 30 degrees centigrade, 86 Fahrenheit. Okay? The researchers also tested the material's response to a magnetic field at a range of temperatures because superconductors are known to expel them as a part of the phenomenon called the Meissner effect. They concluded that it did exhibit this effect in the temperature range where it also had near zero resistance. Because of the Meissner effect, a superconductor floats when placed on a conventional magnet, and the researchers recorded a test of this levitation as well. In their video, they placed a piece of LK99 above a magnet, and it clearly rises above the magnet's surface. We watched that little video earlier. We saw the video. It's on the Twitter thread. The first video on the Twitter thread. This one right here. Get back to it. However, only one edge of the flat coin-like material fully levitates, while the other seems to stay in contact with the magnet. Kim says this is due to the sample being imperfect, which means that only some part of it becomes superconductive and exhibits the Meissner effect. Currently, 2 papers concerning LK99 are available on the preprint service ARXIV, which does not conduct peer review, and a related past study published on the Journal of the Korean Crystal Growth and Crystal Technology in April. Wait, what? crystal growth and crystal technology. Kim has only co-authored one of the RXIV papers, while the other is authored by his colleagues at the Quantum Energy Research Center in South Korea, some of whom also applied for a patent on LK99 in August 2022. Both papers represent similar measurements. However, Kim says that the second paper contains many defects and was uploaded to ARXIV without his permission. In that paper, the work is described as opening a new era for mankind. Some commentators on social media heralded the findings as generational breakthrough. Oh, it's archive. Okay, got it. That's RXIV is just archive. Susanna Speller and Chris Grosvenor at the University of Oxford say that when a material becomes superconductive, there should be clear signatures on a number of measurements. For two of those in particular, namely the response of the magnetic field and a quantity called heat capacity, Speller says neither is demonstrated in the data, so it is too early to say that we have been presented with compelling evidence for superconductivity in these samples. The other experts that the new scientists consulted were similarly skeptical about the results. Maybe they're just jealous. Maybe they're just jealous. Paper is backed by a South Korean PhD at a prominent university. The rough paper was rushed to a publication, which is apparent in the norm for big discoveries. Given how easy the process seems, it will be a quick review. Room temperature superconductors have been discovered. They just crumble to ambient atmospheric pressure. This new material has the temp resistance and the pressure resistance. I work on quantum computers, and these are bold claims with a lot of red flags. However, these are relatively common materials, so it should be easy for people to test in a lab. Notice they published one of the papers with only 3 authors in case somebody wins a Nobel. Yeah, I saw that. The original paper had 6 authors on it, and then they simultaneously released the same exact study with 3 authors on it, specifically because the Nobel Prize has a cap for 3, I guess, which I don't even know why. That seems kind of dumb, but whatever. So they were very confident, is what people are saying. They were very confident about potentially winning a Nobel Prize for this, but that could also mean that they're, trying to scheme their way into a Nobel Prize, like the previous story that you guys were talking about that you wanted me to see, the guy who conned his way into a Nobel Prize. The theoretical models that Kim and his colleagues cite explaining why the new material can superconduct at such different conditions than all previous ones have also been called into question by one of the researchers that new scientists spoke to. Kim says that he's aware of the skepticism, but believes that other researchers try to replicate his team's work to settle on the issue. Once their findings are published in a peer-reviewed journal, which Kim says is in the works, he will support anyone who wants to create and test LK99 for themselves. In the meantime, he and his colleagues will continue to work on perfecting their samples of the alleged miracle superconductor and move towards mass producing it. I've been working on materials research for 10 years, and this sounds like BS to me, and this whole removing authors is a scumbag move. If this is true and we find ways to bring supercomputers to the public or even bad actors opposing governments, we will break modern banking and privacy forever. Like quantum hackers? Quantum computers aren't necessarily faster than current computers. They just use qubits instead of bits. Bits have 2 binary states on and off, whereas qubits have multiple states. Quantum semiconductors will likely not be used for commercial use and will instead most likely be used by governments to decrypt things like RSA encryption. Read my essay. Wait, what? LK99 is a lead-based insulator discovered in 1999. They added some copper to it and now claim superconductivity. They have a patent for it and is now conveniently room temperature superconducting. I am skeptical. When are we talking about aliens? I'm not going to lie, guys. As much as a dumb bimbo as I am, especially as it pertains to science stories, this seems infinitely more interesting and entertaining, to me at least, than the dumbass alien story from one guy who's like, yeah, I have no photo proof, but like a lot of people were harmed to bring this information to you, and I saw aliens, I promise. I literally think this is way more entertaining, whether it be the dramatic aspect of it or whether it be dreaming of a future where this is feasible. I think that this is like, this is unironically something that is real, even if this specific aspect of it might not be. It seemingly is more real than the fucking alien situation. It would destroy our current encryption methods, but there are new forms of encryption that cannot be cracked by quantum computing that are being considered, so not GG in the future.
For most of our history, human technology consisted of our brains, fire, and sharp sticks. While fire and sharp sticks became power plants and nuclear
Okay, I'm gonna go pee while this plays real quick and explains quantum computers.
weapons, the biggest upgrade has happened to our brains.
I don't want to hear about how it's fucking propaganda or some shit, okay? Shut up and learn.
Since the 1960s, the power of our brain machines has kept growing exponentially, allowing computers to get smaller and more powerful at the same time. But this process is about to meet its physical limits. Computer parts are approaching the size of an atom. To understand why this is a problem, we have to clear up some basics. A computer is made up of very simple components doing very simple things, representing data, the means of processing it, and control mechanisms. Computer chips contain modules, which contain logic gates, which contain transistors. A transistor is the simplest form of a data processor in computers, basically a switch that can either block or open the way for information coming through. This information is made up of bits, which can be set to either 0 or 1. Combinations of several bits are used to represent more complex information. Transistors are combined to create logic gates, which still do very simple stuff. For example, an AND gate sends an output of 1 if all of its inputs are 1, and an output of 0 otherwise. Combinations of logic gates finally form meaningful modules, say for adding two numbers. Once you can add, you can also multiply, and once you can multiply, you can basically do anything. Since all basic operations are literally simpler than first-grade math, you can imagine a computer as a group of 7-year-olds answering really basic math questions. A large enough bunch of them could compute anything from astrophysics to Zelda. However, with parts getting tinier and tinier, quantum physics are making things tricky. In a nutshell, a transistor is just an electric switch. Electricity is electrons moving from one place to another, so a switch is a passage that can block electrons from moving in one direction. Today, a typical scale for transistors is 14 nanometers, which is about 8 times less than the HIV virus's diameter and 500 times smaller than a red blood cell's. As transistors are shrinking to the size of only a few atoms, electrons may just transfer themselves to the other side of a blocked passage via a process called quantum tunneling. In the quantum realm, physics works quite differently from the predictable ways we're used to, and traditional computers just stop making sense. We are approaching a real physical barrier for our technological progress. To solve this problem, scientists are trying to use these unusual quantum properties to their advantage by building quantum computers. In normal computers, bits are the smallest units of information. Quantum computers use qubits, which can also be set to one of two values. A qubit can be any two-level quantum system, such as a spin in a magnetic field or a single photon. 0 and 1 are this system's possible states, like the photon's horizontal or vertical polarization. In the quantum world, the qubit doesn't have to be in just one of those, it can be in any proportions of both states at once. This is called superposition. But as soon as you test its value, say by sending the photon through a filter, it has to decide to be either vertically or horizontally polarized. So as long as it's unobserved, the qubit is in a superposition of probabilities for 0 and 1, and you can't predict which it will be. But the instant you measure it, it collapses into one of the definite states. Superposition is a game changer. 4 classical bits can be in one of 2 to the power of 4 different configurations at a time. That's 16 possible combinations, out of which you can use just one. 4 qubits in superposition, however, can be in all of those 16 combinations at once. This number grows exponentially with each extra qubit. 20 of them can already store 1 million values in parallel. A really weird and unintuitive property qubits can have is entanglement, a close connection that makes each of the qubits react to a change in the other's state instantaneously, no matter how far they are apart. This means that when measuring just one entangled qubit, you can directly deduce properties of its partners without having to look. Qubit manipulation.
They're making our fucking computers non-binary, brother. I'm sick and tired of it. That's all I got out of this goddamn bullshit. Let me tell you something, folks. I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? What do you mean? Non-binaries in our schools? Non-binaries in our motherfucking computers? I don't want that shit. God damn it, Biden. Stop it now. Woke-ass PCs. I just want to look up hentai. Sick and tired of it. I'll tell you what, folks. They're transing our computers.
Is a mind bender as well. A normal logic gate gets a simple set of inputs and produces one definite output. A quantum gate manipulates an input of superpositions, rotates probabilities, and produces another superposition as its output. So a quantum computer sets up some qubits, applies quantum gates to entangle them and manipulate probabilities, and finally measures the outcome, collapsing superpositions to an actual sequence of zeros and ones. What this means is that you get the entire lot of calculations that are possible with your setup all done at the same time. Ultimately, you can only measure one of the results, and it will only probably be the one you want, so you may have to double check and try again. But by cleverly exploiting superposition and entanglement, this can be exponentially more efficient than would ever be possible on a normal computer. So while quantum computers will probably not replace our home computers, in some areas they are vastly superior. One of them is database searching. To find something in a database, a normal computer may have to test every single one of its entries. Quantum algorithms need only the square root of that time, which for large databases is a huge difference. The most famous use of quantum computers is ruining IT security. Right now, your browsing, email, and banking data is being kept secure by an encryption system in which you give everyone a public key to encode messages only you can decode. The problem is that this public key can actually be used to calculate your secret private key. Luckily, doing the necessary math on any normal computer would literally take years of trial and error. But a quantum computer with exponential speedup could do it in a breeze. Another really exciting new use is simulations. Simulations of the quantum world are very intense on resources, and even for bigger structures such as molecules, they often lack accuracy. So why not simulate quantum physics with actual quantum physics? Quantum simulations could provide new insights on proteins that might revolutionize medicine. Right now, we don't know if quantum computers will be just a very specialized tool or a big revolution for humanity. We have no idea where the limits of technology are, and there's only one way to find out. This video is supported by the Australian.
The smaller you go, the more physics has to rely on probability instead of definitive answers. The weirdest part is that small things do everything until it's measured, and then we'll come with a definitive answer. It's weird as fuck. Quantum computing doesn't break current cryptography. It just makes solving the discrete logarithm problem simpler. Current state-of-the-art encryption will just become twice as easy to break, i.e. some previously unbreakable will be breakable, but will remain reasonably unbreakable. I work in cryptography at a big search company. But like, wouldn't they just then turn around and use it for... I mean, wouldn't they use quantum computers to make new... forms of encryption? Like, am I wrong about this? Yeah, it would just like, it could potentially make it quantum resistant encryption is already being developed.
Right now, some nations
Veritasium is talking about how quantum computers can break the internet starting now.
states and individual actors are intercepting and storing lots of encrypted data, like passwords, bank details, and social security numbers. But they can't open these files.
I mean, when you think about it, I feel like, at least if you're an American consumer, this shit's not very reasonably protected anyway, or at least like social security numbers and whatnot if you use like TurboTax. You know what I mean? You know you can literally guess a social security number if you know when and where people were born? Yes, I know. Why are you mentioning this in the chat? I hate when people say that. Yeah, I mean, it's true. He's not wrong. What that chatter is saying is correct. Logan Paul is shit talking our boy Bradley Martin.
Bradley.
Why is he saying that?
I
Uh-oh.
think you're getting lame. I think you're getting lame as a person or a person who's either searching for clicks. He had Nate Diaz, who my brother's fighting on August 5th on his podcast.
Yeah.
And like in the same sentence, he's like, yeah, I'm cool with Jake. I like Jake. I just hope you beat his ass. I just want to see him get his ass beat. I want to see him get turned into a meme. Why, Bradley? You're cool with us. He's in the family. You even said yourself you like him. Why say that? Are you searching for clicks? Even the way you're talking about street fighting Nate, like, bro, you're not going to beat Nate Diaz in a street fight. You just searching for clicks?
Well, what if
I mean, the answer is yes. I don't really understand it. Like, yeah, no shit. I mean, how do you not know that? You are also like that. You are the king of searching for clicks so much that you searched in the fucking suicide forest. You know what I mean?
If he is.
Yeah, what if he is?
I think he's lame. Bradley, you got to be humbled. That's what you need. It doesn't sound like you've had it yet. And I will invite you to Puerto Rico to spar with me to be humbled.
He'll do it. Bradley's a tough. He'll do it.
Won't. Bradley, if you're serious, I'm inviting you to come to Puerto Rico to promote my next upcoming fight. And I will spar you and I will fuck.
I like that he's like, he literally was like, wow, are you clickbaiting, dude? Which is why I will clickbait with you clickbaiting. It's funny. Wait, Activision is suing a TikToker? It's not just a TikToker. This is not a TikToker. This is my friend. It's fucking Anthony Fantano. Activision sues music critic over TikTok pizza clip. Activision says it's getting ahead of a legal threat by suing the creator of a popular TikTok video after the company used the audio from his clip in its own post. Activision is testing the theory that repurposing content on TikTok is fair game and not something it has to pay for. It's also accusing Anthony Fantano, the video's creator, of asking for an extortionate amount of money to avoid being sued for using the audio, which it says was permitted by TikTok's terms of service. The Activision suit was filed in California. It seeks a ruling confirming that the company did not infringe on Fantano's rights when it incorporated audio of Fantano talking about a thinly sliced pizza into a video about sneakers themed to its video game character, Crash Bandicoot. Fantano's 19-second clip was uploaded in April 2021. It's been liked by more than 5 million times on TikTok and became a meme. We've used it as well. Wait, hold on. I'm going to text him right now. Oh, the video was repeatedly reused and remixed over the last 2 years, which Fantano celebrated according to the suit. Activision's Crash Bandicoot clip was uploaded in June, but it's no longer online. According to the suit, Fantano contacted Activision in late June, threatening to sue, and has not been satisfied by Activision deleting the video. On July 11th, Fantano allegedly asked for a 6-figure payment. Defendant also apprised Activision that he reached settlements with other entities based on similar use, that these entities had paid a similar sum in order to avoid an expensive litigation, the suit states. But Activision says TikTok's terms of service indicate that users grant third parties the right to modify, adapt, reproduce, or make derivative works of their uploaded videos. Activision also says it pulled Fantano's audio from a listing of sounds that TikTok marked as cleared for commercial use. For those of you who don't know, this is, I hope Fantano doesn't actually sue us, but this is, of course, the famous Austinox meme of the Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex. Here is that meme being utilized.
A fresh pie? Save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good. Okay. All right, okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's enough slices!
The crypto chatters either lying about his credentials or very bad at communicating. All common crypto schemes are completely broken by Q computers or Shor's algorithm. There are new crypto schemes that are quantum resistant, but none are used at large scale, and we don't have a good idea if they're Here, one of them got completely broken out of the blue. Hasanabi, female. Wait, wouldn't Fantano ruin TikTok if he won? I don't know. I feel like you could absolutely do a specific carve out for commercial usage, because this is very clearly a commercial usage of his audio. You know what I mean? This dispute is a textbook example of how intellectual property law can be misused by individuals to leverage unfair cash payments from users of social media networks such as TikTok, Activision's lawyers say in the suit. I like that Anthony Fantano is the harmed party here. Sorry, Activision is the harmed party. Who are they harmed by? Anthony fucking Fantano. Like, what is going on here? I guess why are they countersuing? Like, do they think... I don't get it. Like, are they countersuing because they're like, no one ever can come after us for using your audio ever again if you upload it on TikTok? Is that what it is? Like, how do they get to play the victim here? Ultimately, what do I think? I am not a fan of intellectual property, but I am a fan of, small content creators in this regard, making money off of corporations. So this brings me to an impasse, okay? It's a unique predicament where, like, intellectual property, especially when it's, being commercially appropriated by a giant corporation, should understandably lead to an adequate compensation for whoever the fuck is, like, making a big stink about it. You know what I mean? Fantano should borrow some Disney lawyers. I'm sure they'd lend their time pro bono to defend the sanctity of copyrights. Yeah. IP laws are only ever enforced in favor of corporations. That's why it sucks. Yeah, literally. Okay, but there wouldn't be a carve-out, dummy? No, for commercial utilization, you would absolutely put a carve-out there. What are you talking about? Potentially. I mean, it depends on how they frame this. It's been reused 54,000 times on TikTok. Argument is stupid despite being a giant corporation. I texted him. Let's see if he responds. Why are you defending IP Lamau just because he's your friend? Fuck off. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm defending him, because he's my friend. The other side, Fantano did not Fantano. And Fantano did not reply to a request or comment from Axios, but in an interview with Overcome last year about the clip's popularity, Fantano said, I have so many other irons in the fire going on that I don't really give a shit about what happens with the sound of me yelling at pizza. But he added, for somebody who literally has nothing on their name other than, hey, I have this popular song on TikTok or this popular sound, for them to not see any kind of benefit off that whatsoever, that's terrible. That's awful. Yeah, Fantano and Tano. Corporations need to license everything, and I mean everything from marketing materials, even fonts. Anthony probably knows this and is trying to simply license his original audio to them. Very typical in the marketing world, and Activision is being a typical cheapskate corpo fuck. Source, I work in marketing. Ethan was saying the same thing when he saw Selena Gomez use his audio to promote her new makeup line, obviously memeing. I think Fantano has a decent chance to win. I don't think he uploaded the sound to TikTok. I don't think he uploaded the sound to TikTok's cleared commercial system. Other people have ripped the original video and uploaded it. Activision threatened to sue me for working on a decompiled open source version of old Call of Duty games. Fuck them for abusing their money and power to shut down smaller people. While this situation is different to mine, it's still insane. I feel pretty bad for the 18-year-old social media intern who caused all this. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I copyright law sucks so much in the U.S. Most historical work should have expired in 1965 because they never extended their copyright 90%, but they just lie about it. They'll also claim something from 1920s was never published and so is still copyrighted. Corporations are the ones abusing it, not Fantano. By the way, people thinking six figures is a lot have clearly never worked in big corporate marketing. Dollar figures are absolutely insane in this world, trust me. Yeah. No one is writing articles when music or movie companies do this to creators, but now it's a story when it goes the other way. I think it's a story because Activision, it seems like, according to what Activision is saying, Fantano reached out and was like, hey, give me some money. You used my voice in an ad, and I didn't clear it. And then they didn't like how much money he was asking for. So then they were like, fuck you, we're going to sue you. If being anti-corpa means being pro-IP, then I'm the most Marvel-loving Disney fan this side of Mississippi. In my opinion, it's very similar to the Ron DeSantis meme videos. Cillian Murphy didn't give his permission to use his likeness for the video. Yeah. I do think that it opens up a litigation floodgates for a lot of horny lawyers and also a lot of horny motherfuckers who just want to, like, turn around and sue anyone and everyone. So I do see the other side of this conversation where, like, anything and everything that is meant to protect people will oftentimes be, one, utilized by corporations to protect their interests, and two, will be utilized by random dumbasses who wanna litigate every little thing. You know what I mean? It feels strange, but I could totally see this backfiring on, like, the internet, as long as it's not, like, very clearly defined. I could see that totally destroying fair use. Even I could totally see it destroying. I don't know. I could see it being weaponized by, like, any Tom, Dick, and Harry. So that's why I said we're at an impasse. But if Fantano wins and the corporation has to pay that, will strengthen the rights of the small content creators. Yeah, I agree. Bradley off the perk, bro, does not understand how good these pro fighters are. Okay, that's like you're on mobile. What is this? Oh, I'd literally never show my face again.
You don't want to, yeah, that's too tender, you think? But fair enough. You guys in the middle? Right here?
God damn.
Both of you? Yeah, right there.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Why did he do him like that? That's kind of messed up. I'm not going to lie. Let the man get a feel, dude. What the fuck? Run it back. You guys didn't see that? You didn't see it? Here.
Yeah, right there, guys. You don't want to, yeah.
He had his, Simu Liu has his hands on the small of Ryan's back. Okay, Ryan Gosling's back. Ryan Gosling, I'm going to give you a play-by-play. Ryan Gosling says, no. Literally nobody likes him. It's crazy. I feel bad, dude. What the fuck? He seemed like such a nice guy when I hung out with him. Why the fuck does everybody hate this dude?
Yeah, right there, guys.
Look at his face. Oh God, I feel maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel bad.
You don't want to, yeah, that's too tender, you think? But fair enough. You guys in the middle? Right here?
I think he does a decent job of, like, dousing it with some water, you know? You are parasocial? Brother, you can't be parasocially invested in someone if you've met them in the real world and have, like, hung out with them, okay? It's just, it doesn't work that way. And also, I'm practicing what is known as empathy. Yes, you can. No, I don't mean like at a fucking meet and greet. I mean like as peers, okay? Jesus Christ. Are they supposed to be doing the shoot during the strike, though? They're not. Tomboy lover. This is not during the strike. This is before the strike. Yeah, I mean, was this hate? Margot Robbie also dunked on him, apparently. Here.
Most like that on screen?
They asked Margot Robbie, which cast member is most like their on-screen Barbie / Ken?
Maybe Simu? Most.
She says Simu is the most like his on-screen Ken persona. Bro, because he did a lot of problematic shit back in the day. That's why the hate. Yeah, dude. Ryan Gosling has your level of deep knowledge over Simuliu's Reddit account, dude. Yeah, totally. Ryan Gosling, a 50-year-old man, is aware of Simuliu's like fucking random AZN identity adjacent Reddit account from like 2012, and that's why he's behaving that way. That's so funny. Come on, man. These motherfuckers don't even, half of these people don't even use like telephones all that much, okay? You're out of your fucking mind if you think that like out of touch ass Hollywood Andes are that in tune with what the fuck's going on in the world of internet. Ryan Gosling is 42, my bad. Fucked up. It's because they're enemies in the film, Ken versus Ken. Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Genuine question, are these vids from before the SAG strike? No, they're all actually violating SAG-AFTRA strike rules currently by doing it today. As you know, red carpet promos happen after the movie has been released for weeks now. No, man, this is old shit that they're just like resurfacing. But no, this wasn't during the SAG-AFTRA strikes. No, this is like old. Is this just Asian discrimination or is he just kind of whack? What's the deal? I don't know. I can't give you a good assessment on this because I can't give you a good opinion on this because, like, I just don't know what, like, that would be parasocial. Like, how could I ever make a inference off of this 1 second thing? Maybe it's because he's, maybe it's because he's Canadian. But yeah, look at his face, dude. It's fucked up. I'm doing it now. They're acting. They did this during the entire red carpet. Oh. Okay. Ryan Gosling is Canadian? Oh, shit. That's the word. You hate to see it. Dude, you hate to see Canadian on Canadian social violence, dude. Oh, my God. That's the worst kind. You hate to see it. Two snow Mexicans attacking one another like this, it brings a tear to my eye, okay? Makes me fucking sad. The hate for Simu, old Reddit post, plus criticizing Tarantino and Scorsese's comments on Marvel films. Yeah, I doubt that it's his old Reddit post that these people fucking know about. If you remember, one thing you need to always recognize is that if you know a story inside and out and it like pertains to Reddit, most people in Hollywood do not know, okay? Like Most people, the trade publications probably didn't fucking pick it up. Like, it wasn't on CNN. These are people who are much older. You're in a fucking bubble, okay? They don't know. They don't care about that kind of shit. But the comments on Tarantino and Scorsese, because both have criticized Marvel films, if he defended Marvel films against Tarantino and Scorsese, I could see that being a reason for why they would be annoyed with him or some shit. But like, even then, probably not. Even then, it seems unlikely. You're failing to take into account that Ryan Gosling is literally me. Oh my God, Ryan Gosling is born in London, Ontario. That explains so much. Wait, what does that explain? I don't know anything. If the UFOs are fake news, what do you make of the hearing? Do you think the witnesses are lying, they're misinformed, or Congress is trying to distract with it? No, the Congress does fucking hearings on dumb shit all the time. They had like RFK Jr. on not that long ago to specifically address internet censorship or whatever the fuck. I think it's fun and entertaining and interesting. Keeps people, paying attention, I guess. There's not really much going on in terms of legislation. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on from the Simu and Activision story. Let's get to a story that really matters. Not the UFO one yet, okay? Not the vaccine injury. We already covered that. But instead, and not Tucker Carlson yet, but instead, motherfucking Hunter Biden drama.
Damn, this guy's good.